background in psychiatric nursing, long history of suicide prevention, but I did take a little break, and I was a school nurse for 14 years, and I ended up a crisis counselor in that school in Manasquan, where we had the largest suicide contagion ever recorded in the country so far. So I know about contracts. I know that you're here at 4:15, and I'm going to try and get you a lot of information in a little bit of time, but I also know that your role as paraprofessionals, or any role in the school, whether it be janitorial, cafeteria lady, bus driver, you are the people that the kids connect to. I know that because I saw that. Your role is extraordinarily important today. And that's why we're talking to you, because oftentimes kids will talk to you. All right, so we're starting the conversation today. What we want to know is that why is it important that we start this conversation? What are the warning and risk signs? What is your role as a paraprofessional? What can you do? So much you can do. One of the things that we know about when you think about mental health in schools or across the country, doesn't have to be, 1 in 5 students ages 13 to 18 are affected by mental health issues. And I guess, I don't have to tell you that, do I? How many of you already know that? Just by the kids, think about the kids you're working with, 1 in 5. You put 5 kids together, you're going to find somebody who's struggling. Half the mental health disorders begin before age 14, and school-wide interventions have reduced the number of actively suicidal kids by 36%, from 4.4 to 2.8. So when you do your activities in school with kids and get them involved, you're actually doing something to reduce loneliness, isolation. When those clubs come around with those things that kids get involved with, they are healthy. That is healthy. So we want you to continue with those interventions in school. So look at New Jersey. A lot of stats here. Out of all the things up there, just look to the third one. This is the bottom line. As of 2016, suicide is the second leading cause of death amongst our youth. The second leading cause of death amongst our youth is unacceptable. Unacceptable. If a virus ever entered your county and started killing kids at the rate that suicide kills these kids, you will all be at the Center for Disease Control asking for a vaccine. Yet, we're not doing anything about the second leading cause of death amongst our youth. That's staggering. What we know, there's a lot of different, I'm going to let you read this because you all are going away with this PowerPoint, and so you can read these stats. What we know is that rates are declining. We are not making a difference. We are seeing some rates declining. We have a Lifelines program here in your school. Middletown was one of the first school districts to take on Lifelines, which is an curriculum that actually talks to kids about how to help a friend if a friend is in trouble. Okay, that's been a really big success. Why is prevention in schools so important? You tell me, why is it so important as a paraprofessional? Why is it so important? Where do kids spend the majority of their time? With you, right? Right? And prevention falls under the mandate to provide a safe learning environment for students. Now we teach students about how to drop a motor during a fire drill, right? How many fires have you had in your school? Not too many. If I ask them, how many children have completed suicide in your school? Well, you know someone that has completed suicide in your life, which I know you do, and I should have said at the beginning, if this topic touches upon anything painful or difficult for you, you're more than welcome to take a break and walk out, and I will not be affected in any way. But we know that the janitor would come in at the end of the day, he'd be sweeping my office, and I would tilt my head and say, what do you want to tell me? And he said, I was at a locker, this is what I heard, my friend who usually looks at me was looking down today, I'm concerned, sure, just check on him. And sure enough, every time I took someone's word that there was a paraprofessional cafeteria, they knew that kid was in trouble. So trust your instincts, trust your gut. And so it isn't just the counseling staff, it's all of us. Every single one of us is in this together. I wanted to split up my... Okay, I want to talk to you a little bit about language. I don't know what happened, Howard, but you can get me back on board. Okay, pretty good. He's good. Alright, so there's some things about language that's changed when we're talking about suicide. I just want to bring you up to date so that you can sound intelligent. We're really starting to avoid the word committed suicide. Why? What do you think? What do you commit in life? Crimes. What else do you commit? Sins. Right? So committed has a very negative connotation. So we say died by suicide, not committed suicide. They died by suicide. They died by cancer. They died by suicide. So it takes some of the stigma away. Does anyone know what I mean when I say stigma? What does that mean to you? There's a negativity surrounding it. Anybody else? Yes, absolutely. What is stigma? There's shame surrounding it. There's shame surrounding it. That's why committed suicide is almost putting shame on that person. We're trying to take that away. Suicide victim, again, it's a person who died by victim. People are, make choices. Successful attempt, it's nothing successful about an attempt. So we just say attempt or completion. So those are the words that we're really trying to get. I know it seems light, but words have power. So we're trying to get people to think differently. I'm going to show you a video.
We have lost far too many lives traveling the path to this day.
Since 1937, over 2,000 people have died at the Golden Gate Bridge. I feel lucky to be alive every single day. For the thousands that have died off the Golden Gate Bridge, I am of the 1% who have survived. Sick, and I got lucky. I landed in the home of Patrick and Deborah Hines. I had a great childhood. I thought, growing up, that everything's gonna be great, and then at 17, it all came crashing down. If you can imagine feeling that everyone around you is out to get you, trying to hurt you, and trying to kill you, and you believe that to be the truth. From the extreme paranoia, I exhibited symptoms of mania. From the mania came the hallucinations, both auditory and visual. And so with that and the bipolar disorder, I just was spiraling out of control. I vividly remember writing my suicide note. People don't get it, but I thought I was a burden to everyone who loved me. Because that's what my brain told me, because that's how powerful your brain is. I got off the bus, I walked slowly down the walkway of the Golden Gate Bridge. People rode by me, drove by me, walked by me, and a woman approached me, and she said, "Do you take my picture?" She said thanks, and she walked away. At that moment, I just said, nobody cares. The reality was that everybody cared. I just couldn't see it. I ran forward. exact same thing that 19 Golden Gate Bridge jump survivors have also said. The millisecond my hands left the rail, it was an instant regret. And I remember thinking, no one's going to know that I didn't want to die. In 4 seconds I fell 75 miles an hour, 25 stories, and I hit the water. I was in the most physical pain I've ever experienced, The Coast Guard, it was amazing. He was just so freaked out that I was alive that he just dove in and brought me on board. And I said, do you know the people we blew out of this water that are already dead? And I said, no, I don't want to know. That goes into my forehead. I said, kid, you're a miracle. My father took one step into the hospital room, and I looked up at him and I said, Dad, I'm sorry. And he said, no, Kevin, I'm sorry. And if you think about it, both of our immediate reactions were guilt. Guilt that didn't belong to either of us. And even though I didn't die, it caused people a great deal of grief and pain. Just the day of my attempt still sits within them today. I asked my father if he still feared my death by suicide. He said, every time the phone goes off, his first inclination is Kevin alive. I had an impact on my dad. So after the jump, the road to recovery was pretty long. I had 7 psychoid stays in the next 11 years. I still have all the symptoms I ever had. Mania, depression, psychosis, hallucinations, all that's still there. I just know how to cope with it and I know how to beat it. I built a support network over these years of treatment so that I wouldn't be fighting this alone. So it's okay not to be okay. It's not okay not to ask for someone to back you up. To the families who live with the loss or losses of loved ones, they didn't do that to hurt you or destroy your life. They took their lives because they were struggling in a great deal of emotional and mental pain. Suicide, mental illness, and addiction are the only diseases that we blame the person for perpetually. But people die from suicide just like they die from any other organ disease. Today, no matter the pain I'm in, no matter the struggles I experience, I do believe that life is the greatest gift we've ever been given. And if you're suffering mentally, don't wait like I did sitting in denial for so long. Because recovery happens. Living proof.
Can you help a kid who's suicidal? You would say, oh no, that's not my area of expertise, right? But when you look at it as an attempt to solve a problem of intense emotional pain with impaired problem solving, all of a sudden the work that you do makes sense. I can do that. I can help a kid solve a problem. I can listen. And I'll give you 3 words. When you're talking to your kids and you don't know what to say, just say 3 little words. Tell me more. Listen. You don't have to have word of advice. All you have to do is listen. You have a problem, tell me more about that. I'm here for you. Does that make sense? And that's all you have to say. As they tell you more and more, tell me more about that. Wow, that sounds rough. Tell me a little bit more. And then maybe I can get you someone who can get you some help. So glad that you took the time of the playground to tell me about that. What happened last night, or what happened this morning, or how brave you were to talk to me about that. Thank you, and let me get you some help. Does that sound like something you could do? Because that's all that needs to be done. What does, when I say intense emotional pain, what does that look like? So what I'm going to ask you all to do, think about the single worst time of your life. Just take us 30 seconds and just get there in your head. What were your emotions? What were you feeling like? What was the single most difficult time in your life? Anyone want to jump in? With an emotion, what you felt like during your most difficult time? Take a stab at it. Overwhelmed is a good word, yes? Overwhelmed. Anybody else? Hopeless? Yeah. Overwhelmed, hopeless, sad, confused. Right. So you're hopeless, you're sad, you're confused, you're overwhelmed. These are all things we've all felt before, right? This is how you define intense emotional pain. But when you're a child, you don't have the life experience to know that you're going to get through this. You don't know. And that's where the adults come in. That's where that trusted adult comes in to help that child know what they don't know. So worthless, hopeless, being a loser. Kids are really quick to say you're a loser. Confusion, emptiness, and desperation. And desperation is one of those words that you just literally at the end of your rope. Those are the words. So that's what it feels like. And you've all felt that. So when people say to me, I can't imagine being suicidal, I say, oh yes you can. You've been there. You've been there. Okay, so what problems can seem unsolvable to a child? Or any child, even to us. Getting into trouble at home, in school, or with the law. Right? Now, I was a counselor in Madison High School during the suicide contagion, right? I told you that. If I heard one kid say it, I heard 500 kids say it. Don't call my parents. All they care about are grades. If you tell them I'm struggling, they're going to just put more pressure on me for grades. There's a lot of pressure on our kids these days to achieve athletically, academically, and there's a lot of fragmented families out there, so they're struggling. Being humiliated in front of friends, especially for boys. How many boys in here would agree with that? I don't have a lot of boys, but you men, would you agree with that being humiliated issue for boys. I can tell you that what triggered the suicide contagion in Manasquan was a bunch of kids that played baseball, and the coach was in a trial for sexual molestation, and the trial was coming up. And the boy that was going to testify was getting teased by the other boys. Oh, come on, you wanted it, you liked it, you know, and he jumped in front of a train before the trial. That was part of the contagion that occurred. So that rings clear to me. Loss of a relationship, an opportunity, or a dream. I always say this. You know how they really say, oh, your first love, you'll get over it, there's lots of fish in the sea. Guess what the research is showing? They're showing that the endorphins that go off in the brain for the first relationship, your first sexual experience, are so powerful that you may never feel it again. So, when someone says, you don't understand, this is the best thing that ever happened to me and I'll never find it again, the bubble above your head is, you might not. And you wonder why everybody hooks up at these reunions, class reunions, years later, because there's still energy in the universe from that first exchange. Trust me, I just went to my 40th reunion, it was scary. So, trust me, I sat back and watched, and I saw a lot of old flames reconnecting. So it's so powerful, just so fun. So any transition for which the student feels unprepared, if you see a kid moving from a grade to a grade, or from a school to a school, that new kid coming into school, that is so difficult for them. So really do everything you can to get that kid to transition. But you know what we're really finding is those kids graduating from high school into college, that 18 to 22-year-old, really having trouble transitioning. Wow. Why do you think they're having so much trouble transitioning? Anybody want to take a guess? Their friends aren't with them? Yeah. Who else isn't with them? Their teachers? Who else isn't with them? Their parents, who might be taking all the problem solving on the parent's shoulder and not on the child's shoulder. And so when they get on their own, they get overwhelmed. So be careful that you don't over-parent. It's not great. Okay, so what do you need to know about risk factors, and what are risk factors? Risk factors are things that might put a child at a higher risk to possibly fall in the category of suicidal thinking. Alright? But not every, so think about risk, when you think about mental health, think about it like physical health. Alright? Because it's the same thing, it's a disease process. So if you were at a higher risk for a heart attack, what would that mean to you? What would that mean? What would put you at a higher risk? Family history, right? Diet might put you at a higher risk. Lack of exercise, smoking, all those things might put you at a higher risk. But does that mean you're going to have a heart attack? No. It's just risk factors. Same thing in mental health. Does that make sense? So the risk factors increase the possibility that someone might be suicidal. And there's never just one risk factor, there's always more than one, okay? So you have to pay attention to that. The school may never know what a kid's risk factors are at home. We may never know. So if you see one, pay attention. Risk factors that may impact suicidal ideas, having an actual diagnosis, family history of violence, of suicide, gender identity. Our LGBTQ population is at a much higher risk. Pay very close attention to them. Bullying, cyberbullying, and one of the ones that I think is really most important is sleep deprivation. A lot of our kids are on their phones very, very late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, they're not getting a lot of sleep. Then the pressures of school, pressures of athletics, pressures of home can really make them not cope well. So be careful of that as well. The most serious risk factors, if you have a previous attempt, that is a risk factor. That is a serious risk factor. Oftentimes, raises a real red flag. Having an organized plan. And don't be afraid to ask, are you thinking about hurting yourself? Are you thinking about taking your life? And what would that look like? What would that mean? Don't be afraid. People think you're going to implant the idea in someone's head. That is a myth. They will feel relieved if you talk to them. They're not going to implant the idea into their head. So please understand that. And if we don't have a lot of, the gun laws in New Jersey are pretty strict, but still, if there's guns, that is a risk factor. What are the warning signs you might see in school? Changes in the student appearance, neglect of hygiene, changes in mood, eating habits, isolating on the bus, in the cafeteria, bullying, loss of interest in favorite activities, complaints of boredom, does not respond as before to praise, just kind of down, not really reacting. Unusual patterns of absences or tardiness. I always say check on those kids that are absent a lot. Something is going on. And frequent visits to the school nurse. So I was a school nurse for 14 years, and I can tell you that if a kid keeps showing up at my office with a headache, stomachache, and no fever, I say depression, anxiety. I know they're not sick, right? So there are frequent flyers, and oftentimes there's an emotional component to why they keep coming to me. Talking about wanting to die, feeling hopeless. If you hear a kid say, I can't do this anymore, I can't take this anymore, I don't want to be here anymore, that's talking about wanting to die. Oftentimes kids will throw this stuff out lightly and we are just saying it. Pause. Ask them, are you okay? What's going on that makes you feel that way? Take a moment. Talking about being a burden to others, emotional distress, complaining, just not happy. Cutting class or leaving school early, acting anxious or agitated, behaving recklessly. A lot of times kids will we call act out. Something's going on that's creating that. Withdrawal from friends is a very big one. If you've got a kid that's got friends and all of a sudden they're pulling back, pay attention. Pay very close attention. And actual threats or suicide notes. But here's that, see this bottom line? That is the bottom line. If another student comes to you about a friend, and they are worried about a friend, stop what you are doing and listen. Because kids know when other kids are in trouble. They know, and if they're taking the time to tell you, you must take it seriously. Direct or indirect verbal cues, I'm going to kill myself, I wish I was dead, I'm going to end it all. These kinds of things, if I fail this class, I'm going to blow my brains out. You can say, we don't talk like that in this school. We take that stuff very seriously. My family would be better off without it, without me. I'm tired of life, I can't go on. I won't be around much longer, and pretty soon you won't have to worry about me. These are messages. So pay attention to what the words are that are coming out of the kids' mouths. Alright, here's a video for you.
I have my ups and downs, just like anybody else.
Maybe more than anybody else.
I can be hard to figure out.
And I have my privacy. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder all the time.
But you know your kid better than anybody else. And if you think he's acting different than usual,
Acting really down, crying all the time for no good reason.
or getting really mad, not able to sleep, or sleeping too much,
Shutting her friends out or giving her stuff away.
acting reckless, drinking, using drugs, staying out late,
Suddenly not doing stuff he used to love.
or doing stuff that's just not like him.
It might be nothing to worry about. It might just be high school.
Or it might be something more. He might be depressed, not just feeling down, really depressed.
It might be that your kid is thinking about killing himself. It happens. More than you think. More than it should.
And people say, I have no idea.
I thought it was just a phase he was going through.
I never thought she'd do it.
I wish he'd come to me.
I wish she'd said
I
something.
wish I had said something.
When it's too late. So if you think your kid's acting different, if she seems like a different person, say something.
Say, what's wrong? How can I help?
And ask straight out. Are you thinking about killing yourself? It doesn't hurt to ask. In fact, it helps.
When people are thinking about killing themselves, they want somebody to ask.
They want somebody to care.
Maybe they're afraid you'll make it worse if you ask. Like, you'll put the idea in their head.
Believe me, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't hurt to ask. In fact, the best way to keep a teenager from killing yourself is to ask. Are you thinking about killing yourself?
And what if they say yes?
Or maybe.
Or sometimes,
Well, here's what you don't say.
That's crazy.
Don't be such a drama
you're
queen.
making too much of this.
That always not worth killing yourself over. It's not going to solve anything.
You're just trying to get attention.
You're not going to kill yourself.
What you do say is,
I'm sorry you're feeling so bad. How can I help? We'll get through this together.
Let's keep you safe.
A lot of people think about killing themselves. Adults and kids.
most of them never try, but some of them do. So if your kid says,
I'd be better off dead. Can't live with this.
I'm gonna kill myself,
Take her seriously. Or find someone she can talk to about it. Someone who knows how to help.
Sometimes kids want to kill themselves because something happened. A breakup, a failure. But sometimes it goes deeper, and it's not going to go away by itself. Get some help. Talk to your doctor.
Or a counselor at school.
Or your minister.
but don't just let it drop.
And make sure that your kid always has someone to turn to. Someone he trusts. Make a list together. Write down 3, 4, 5 names.
Put the suicide hotline number on there too.
Have him keep that list in his wallet, so he always knows where to turn.
Be sure your home is safe. If you have pills she could use to hurt herself, lock them up.
If you have a gun, don't just lock it up. Get it out of the house. Bullets, too.
And one more thing. If you think your kid might be about to hurt himself, don't leave him alone.
Take him to the emergency room.
Call 911 if you have to.
We all have our ups and downs, but sometimes it's more than that.
If you think something's wrong, the only way to find out is to ask. Ask straight out. Are you thinking about killing yourself?
Don't wait until you're sure. Trust your gut.
Because it never hurts to ask.
And it can make a big difference. All the difference. In your kid's life.
I think that really says it all, but I want the governor to sort of close the presentation with a few words from him, and we'd love questions and answers also. I don't want you to leave with any questions.
All right. Please understand that today in this high school, you had students talking about taking their lives. That's a fact. Absolutely. By the way, a couple of years ago, that's the last stats we had was 2015. In our country, 1.2 million high school students